Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Liz Kidantis. Tonight, a solemn goodbye to Indian River County Sergeant Terri Sweeting-Mashkow. She was killed in the line of duty on the doorstep of a home while serving an eviction notice 11 days ago. Thousands packed into a hangar at the Vero Beach Municipal Airport earlier to say their final goodbyes to a woman who spent her life on the force dedicating herself to her community. Her body was just laid to rest at Crestlawn Cemetery in Vero Beach, and that is where we find our Jim Grimes tonight. Jim?
Liz, the sun going down over my shoulder, marking the end of what has been a long and emotional day for this entire community. Now we're standing just outside the Crestlawn Cemetery here in Vero Beach. We're just a few miles away from where the memorial service was held earlier this morning. And the family, unlike the memorial service, wanted this to be different. They wanted it to be small. It was not open to the public or to the media. We did get a chance to go down before the crowds arrived over at the burial site. Quiet tent with some chairs inside, some flowers and some cards. It was a beautiful yet simple setting for that final farewell. A much different scene, though, earlier as the casket arrived at the cemetery. Take a look at the pictures. Dozens of police motor units, police officers, deputies, state law enforcement from around the state escorting that casket in a long procession that trailed literally blocks along the road leading up to the front gates here at the cemetery. Now, along the route, small groups of neighbors standing in the rain to pay their respects. One of them, Deborah Yates, she told us she felt like she just needed to be here.
We should all be out here. It's a great loss for our community. Wonderful person. It's just been a great sadness for this town. Just senseless. I mean, I don't understand it.
Law enforcement funerals are always emotional, especially when they happen in your own community. Earlier today, many of the community members gathered at a hangar over at the municipal airport to take part in that memorial service. Our Treasure Coast reporter Jack Wu was there. He joining us live tonight with more. Hi, Jack.
Jim, the crowd here at the airport was massive. The sheriff's office actually had an airport hangar donated to them because of how large of a crowd they were expecting. Friends, family, and law enforcement from across the state showed up to pay their respects to the fallen hero. A fallen hero honored in Indian River County. Sergeant Terri Sweeting-Mashkow's funeral service drew over 1,000 people on Tuesday. The 25-year veteran's impact on this community on full display at the Vero Beach Airport.
This agency never forgets. The Indian River County Sheriff's Office and our community have come together in the midst of this tragedy. More accurately, we have come closer together.
State officials, including Governor Ron DeSantis, Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins, and Congressman Mike Herodopoulos paying their respects. One of Sweeting-Mashkow's closest friends describing her as the perfect cop.
She was the best cop for every call. She would be down on one knee, talking with the child, having her tender, kind, and caring side, or she could be the most firm and effective law enforcement officer who took care of business.
Her husband and 2 children attended the service together. A pastor leading prayer read a message aloud on her husband's behalf.
She'd be working a zone, she'd meet a family in crisis, and her first instinct, her automatic response, was not just to do her job and move on, it was to help.
Sheriff Eric Flowers also extending his hands to her loved ones.
You can look around and see that love here today. And rest assured, that will always continue, as you are always, always part of the Sheriff's Office family.
With the ultimate sacrifice.
The ceremony ending with a symbolic honor, a final radio call, retiring the sergeant's dispatch number.
The job she loved.
Sergeant Sweeting-Mashkow is only the second deputy in the sheriff's office history to die in the line of duty. The crowd was so large, in fact, that most of the people who were inside it was mainly reserved for government officials and law enforcement, but there were some community members who were seen inside the hangar. Jim?
Jack, we know the turnout was huge. What stood out to you about the turnout for the crowds of the people here in the community and their support for the deputy and her family?
Well, Jim, that's really the craziest part about this is that even though a lot of community members and residents were turned away because the venue was just at complete capacity, you saw them lined up right where I am now. And I'd say we're pretty far away from the hangar. You wouldn't actually be able to see much of the ceremony, but it was really about being there in the moment. Many of these community members easily could have gone home, watched the live stream, and still have seen most of what happened, but it was really about being here and paying respects. It was something that I've never seen before at any law enforcement funeral, and it really just emphasizes how much of a loss Sergeant Sweeting-Mashkow was and how important she was to this community. Jim?
Well, I think it's clear that Deputy Sweeting-Mashkow meant a lot to the community that she served for some 25 years. As a member of the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, she started as a dispatcher, as it turns out, then worked her way up to patrol, and then most recently in the civil unit. Beyond the badge, she was deeply involved in animal rescue, especially German Shepherds. Colleagues described her as a mentor who treated everyone with kindness. She leaves behind a husband, a daughter, and a stepson, and her death marks now the second line of duty loss in the department's history here in Indian River County. And as it now shows just how dangerous this job really can be. On November 21st, deputies had been serving that eviction notice in the Bermuda Club community to a home there. A man inside opened fire. Deputy Sweeting-Mashkow was killed. A locksmith assisting deputies also killed. And another deputy was also wounded but survived. Deputies returned fire, critically injured that gunman who later died. A celebration of life now is going to be held for the locksmith, David Long. It's planned for Thursday over at Calvary Chapel here in Vero Beach. Visitations are from 1, followed by a service at 2 o'clock. And in lieu of flowers, his family is asking that donations be made to your local Humane Society. The other deputy who was shot, Deputy Tino Arizpe, he has since been released from the hospital. Fundraisers to support the families affected are now underway. We have posted those full details at our website at CBS12.com. And as things wind down here, you have to realize that, this is the weight of another community now dealing with the loss of a law enforcement officer. It happens more common than we'd like to talk about. But it's recognizing that this is a job that is extremely dangerous for the people who are paid to protect and to serve. And it's fair to say that this will be on the minds of many people in this community for years to come. Liz, back to you.